What if I told you that one of the most powerful habits that I ever created literally can be done in less than 5 minutes? Imagine a single morning habit that allows you to escape that feeling of overwhelm and truly go into your day with a greater sense of clarity, focus, and no longer in reaction mode. But let me take you back to why this all started. I was going through a period in my life a couple years ago. There were some transitions going on that were out of my control, and I was feeling lost. I have always thought of myself as a goal getter. There's always a new goal that I'm working towards, but I had become stuck and I felt like I was just spinning my wheels. I was constantly reacting to everyone else's priorities, but then at the end of the day, I realized I never had enough time for my own, and I needed to change. So, in true fashion to that of an educator, because I have 25 years in education, I went back to what I know best, and that is one of my favorite school tools, which is that of an index card, because I realized I needed something to narrow my focus. I needed something that would redirect me whenever things went off track. And I needed something that I could take with me. I've used note cards throughout my entire life because they're portable. I can stick them in my pocket, I can take them in my car, and it truly taps into the power of visualization. So, thinking about simple habits, I literally realized that with a single note card, I could redirect the entire approach that I've had when it comes to starting my days and even navigating through it. So I just want to walk you through what's on my note card and why it's so important. One of the first things that I do is write the date, and that truly is a reminder that I only need to focus on one day at a time. I am no longer worried about what went wrong yesterday, and I'm not focused on next week. Literally, all that gets my attention today is just one day, and that is so doable. And then I really tap into who I'm becoming because I knew that if I wanted to achieve more, I needed to become more because I did not have or was not connected with the identity that was going to get me to those bigger goals. So each morning at the top, there is a focus word, and that focus word taps into that new identity that I am transforming into. Then the next is probably my favorite. I call these my MVPs, most valuable priorities. And some days it's one, but it is never more than three. Because let's face it, as women, we tend to overestimate our capacity. And when we have a list of 10 things that we want to work on each day, that is immediately overwhelming. But if you give yourself permission to focus on less, believe it or not, in the long run, you're going to accomplish more. And these are priorities of mine. These are not work related. These are my personal priorities because remember, we're talking about turning your dreams into reality. So each day you want to make sure that you are taking aligned actions towards those big dreams. And so that's what my priorities are. They are guiding me to take aligned action towards one goal that is really important to me right now. And then I have some type of affirmation or positive phrase or quote because I know throughout the day, those limiting beliefs, those negative thoughts are going to creep in. And all I have to do is revisit my note card, tap back in to that positive quote or affirmation, and I can immediately redirect my thoughts. And when we think about why this works so well, because some people are like, that's too simple, it's never going to work. But that's the reason it does work. It is so ridiculously simple. And that's what we need to start asking ourselves when we're trying to achieve something. We want to know what is the simplest way that we can do that. So imagine 5 minutes each morning. You've created your daily note card, and this note card truly serves as your daily compass. And so think about every time you get in your car and you're going somewhere new, I bet more often than not, you use your GPS. That's what this is. Each day is new for you. It's a day that you've never experienced. You've not traveled through those experiences, and you need something to help guide you. And we've all heard about the power of visualization. Seeing is believing. I revisit my note card several times throughout the day. So I am always reconnecting my thoughts with who I'm becoming. I am revisiting my big goals because I'm looking at my daily priorities. And then I always have a simple way to redirect my thoughts whenever needed. I take this to lunch with me. I pull it out when I'm driving in the car. And that truly is the power behind why it works. And you might be asking, but how does this really help in my transformation? What are some of those things that I can experience by using this note card? One of those immediate transformations is that I am prioritizing me each and every day. Before I ever go to work, before I work on someone else's agenda, I've worked on my own. So imagine each day you've reconnected with your big goals. So you now have daily clarity on what's important to you. Because I bet when you set those goals, you were really excited. But as the days, the weeks, even the months pass by, I bet you've lost sight of your why. Imagine reconnecting with that each and every day. Thinking about that transformation of that feeling of overwhelm, getting to the end of the day and being completely exhausted and really not having enough time to work on your own priorities. Thinking about always being in reaction mode. Now, with this simple daily habit, you are escaping all of that. You are now leading your day. You are having a greater sense of clarity, confidence, and consistency. And just as you start your day with the intentions note card, you're going to end your day with it. Because at the end of the day, I like to take a minute or two and I go back over my priorities and I check them off if I've completed them and I celebrate that small win. But if I don't, I ask myself why. Because I think that reflection piece is what so many of us are missing. So when I look at one of my daily priorities and I haven't completed it, first I ask myself, was it a time issue? Did I just run out of time? And then I have to really go back and reevaluate my daily capacity and ask myself, am I trying to cram too much in a day? And then I ask myself, how important is this? If it is still important and it's still one of those top priorities, it goes on the top of the next day's list. And if it's not, I set it aside for right now. So if you are tired of waking up overwhelmed and immediately jumping into reaction mode, I want to invite you to walk through the simple guide that I've created so you can experience the power of taking just 5 focused minutes each morning to set your daily intentions. The link is below. Give it a try, and then I'd love to hear how it's working for you.